Hey guys, what's up? Karen here. I mentioned in a previous video that I have shot my stash last week. You guys know I do the shot my stash bi-weekly because I ain't about that weekly life for whatever reason. I have separation issues, I guess, right? But we're gonna share the items that I've used throughout last week and what I'm still continuing to use this week. So if you guys are interested in what was featured in my shot my stash for these last 2 weeks, definitely stay tuned to this video. Of course, if you're not already, definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And while you're down there, next to that red subscribe button, you'll see the thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and like this video if you enjoy it. Okay guys, so I have my drawer here and everything can't really fit in my drawer. So I'm going to just start off with the palettes that I've been using for these last 2 weeks. I went ahead and bust out my Lorac Pro palettes. This is the original one, the Lorac Pro 1, and then this is the Lorac Pro 2. I did a look with this palette last week. I wanted to go ahead and get into that shade Jade. You guys know I love that green shade in this palette, so I did use that at one point last week. Today, I actually used the Lorac Pro 1 palette. I still have the plastic in here. But for today's eye look, which is really simple, I just went in with the taupe shade as my transition shade, went in with sable to deepen up the crease, and on the lid I have garnet, so that's what it looks like there. That's how it came out. Loving my Lorac Pro palettes. You guys know I love my Lorac Pro palettes, so I definitely wanted to dip into those and play with those again. Now this palette is my Anastasia contour kit that I had custom made. I told you guys about this actually in my favorites video. I wore it last week like non-stop, and then again, of course, it's in my shop my stash, so it's going this week as well. But for every day I actually use this middle shade. I don't have the name of the shade. I'll actually put it down below somewhere down here so you guys can see exactly the name of the shade. But I use that today to warm up my face and bring back life to my face. Today I'm actually wearing foundation, which you guys know I normally don't wear foundations on a daily basis. I stuck with the same foundations that I was using in the Shop My Stash that you guys may have seen last time. This is the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation, and this one is the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Foundation. Now I didn't get a chance to record the review as I did tell you guys that I was going to do. If you guys still want to see that, let me know down below. But I'll just share my quick little thoughts on it. I did wear this by itself. I knew off the bat that it wasn't the shade, but I did want to try it out and see it, still test it out and see how it worked for me. I actually prefer to wear it mixed with the Better Skin foundation because this is more of a long-lasting foundation, so it did make it last. I found that with this foundation it didn't last as long as it does when I actually combine it with the Super Stay. Yeah, the Super Stay Better Skin foundation. So I love this combination. I love the fact that this is lighter for me and this one is darker for me, so mixing the two gives the perfect shade. You guys think my foundation matches? I think it did a pretty good match with combining the two. So that's the foundations that I use. Now we're going to get into the items that's in this basket. Another item that you may have seen in my favorites video, if you caught that video, this is the NARS 413 Bleaker Blush. Really pretty brush. And if you watched that favorite video or one of my recent videos, I'll link everything down below, but you would have seen this on me, so you can see how that looks. Also in my makeup basket for the week, we have the Buxom Hot Escapes Bronzer in the shade Tahiti. This is what that looks like. I absolutely love this bronzer. You guys may have seen it in favorites videos that I've had featured previously, and I just absolutely love this bronzer. I actually used it more of a middle bronzer today. I actually used it as a bronzer, but it gives more of that highlighter effect, of course, because I am of deeper skin tone. So I ended up using, I did use a different highlight shade, and then the contour that I told you was the Anastasia. And right in between those two, that's where I went ahead and put this in. The highlight that I mentioned that I used before, I used the shade today. I used the shade Rose Gold from my Becca Afterglow palette. I actually have a full review with swatches and everything on caseways.com about this palette. This was released during the holidays and I think it's still available. I'll leave links to everything down below so you can check that out and check out the swatches of this beautiful palette. But you guys know the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors are the absolute bomb, so I wanted to pull out this palette and have a nice selection of highlighters to choose from. To go along with that NARS 413 Bleaker Blush, I went ahead and pulled out the Super Shock Cheek from ColourPop in the shade Homie, and that is what that looks like there. I actually have another blog post featuring all the Super Shock Cheek blushes that I have. So if you guys are interested in that, of course I'll leave that link down below. But it's a perfect match to that 413 Bleaker blush. And I don't always mix the two. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I did. I still have my same two concealers. These are the perfect everyday concealers for me, so I'm having a hard time separating from them. But these are the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealers. Love these concealers. I use number 14 to highlight and number 15 to cover up the hyperpigmentation above my mouth and also alongside my nose. So absolutely love these foundations. I have a full blog post on these as well. Of course, you guys know I'll link that for you. Something else I'm not going to take away from, this is just the everyday staple that I use. It is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Corrector. This is the orange corrector. I don't use the yellow one as much anymore. I just go in with the orange and of course cover up the darkness underneath my eyes and above my mouth and alongside the bridges of my nose. Not the bridge, alongside my nose as well. So this will always be in there. I'm almost actually done with this, so I'm going to be repurchasing another one soon. Now when it comes to brows, I am a creature of habit. Like, I just can't let go of like the Anastasia or the NYX brow pencils that I use. But you guys know, if you've seen my recent empties videos, you guys know that I finished my NYX brow pencil. So I said to myself, and that was just last week, so I said, let me seriously shop my stash. I have all these brow products that I don't even use. So I went ahead into my brow drawer and I picked out 3 products for my brows. This one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon pencil. I think it's in the shade dark brown. This is what I used to use for my brows like every day when I first got into makeup, and it still is the bomb. I used it for my brows today, in addition to a brow product that I had never tried before. This is an Ofra eyebrow pencil and it's in the shade Universal. I don't see how this can be universal. To me, it's like a light brown kind of shade, but they say it's universal. It worked for me. I used it more towards the front of my brows and then more towards the tail end of my brows. I went in with the Wet n Wild pencil. I like this combination. It did pretty good and it's nice for everyday brows. And to set those brows in place, I went in with my $1 Billion Brows brow gel that I had got. If you remember, sometime last year I did a demo review on the $1 Billion Brows product, so I figured let me just use up this brow gel. It is supposed to be clear, but of course when you go ahead and you dip in your brow and you got all these brow products, of course it's going to turn brown. It's going to change to the shade, the color of your brows, right? So that's why it looks like that. But I said let me go ahead and try to finish those products up. I do still have a couple of mascaras in here, because when it comes to mascaras you want to use them within 3 months. So the 4 mascaras that I have in here, I have the Revlon Bold Lacquer by Grow Luscious mascara here. I like this mascara. I have no complaints with that. You guys, I told you last time I love this mascara. It's the Show Off by Beauty Addicts. This one here is the Urban Decay Perversion mascara, and with this one you have to be a little bit more careful. Like, if you take your time and do it, it's nice, but if you are in a rush, like for every day when it comes to work, I'm always rushing to go to work. I don't know about you, but I'm always rushing to go to work. So this, it kind of makes kind of a mess because the wand is just super thick. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the wand is like kind of thick, so you want to take your time with that so that you don't make a mess. And what I've been reaching for is the Old Faithful. You guys seen it featured in my favorites. It is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. Absolutely love this mascara because it is so good for volume, for adding volume to your lashes, as well as that little bit of length that you may need for an everyday basis. So those are the mascaras that I have been using. To clean up my brows, I've actually started using concealer again. I don't do it every day, but because I did eyeshadow, I went ahead and applied this to clean up my brows and also prep my eyes for the eyeshadow that I used. And this is another one of the LA Girl Pro Conceals, but this is the actual concealer and it's in the shade Toffee. That's what I use to clean up underneath my brow, and I do like to use my concealer as a natural brow bone highlight. I will say by itself it is kind of drying, not like the translucent powder that she has, but I still do like it. I used it today underneath my brows and to set everywhere that I had concealer. So I've been using this for the last 2 weeks. I added some primers to the mix. The two that I have here are both from Smashbox. This one is the Photo Finishing Hydrating Under Eye Primer. So I do like to use this to moisturize up underneath my eyes. And this one is just a regular Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I love this. I love both of these actually. I can't say I like one more than the other. I do love to moisturize underneath my eyes. You guys know I have dry skin, so this definitely helps, and especially with that Secret Brightening Powder. I love having this underneath my eyes, so I think that goes hand in hand with the powder that I'm using. And then this Photo Finish Primer for foundation, because I wore foundation today, of course I'm going to prime my face. So I'm just trying to finish up this little primer that I have here. And lastly, on a day where I'm not trying to contour so much, well, it's not really a contour, I still did it as a bronzer, but on days where I just want like a lighter shade, I do go in with my Still Stay All Day, what is this, the Face and Body Bronzer, and this is in the shade Dark. Absolutely love this powder. I've been using this like for months now, and I just can't stop reaching for it. So I did add it to this basket because I missed it. So, and lastly, to set everything, of course, I'm sticking with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is in the shade Dark. I'm actually going to switch this out next time around. This will be the last week that I use this because I do have powders in there that I need to use up. But this one is just so easy to go to. It's just an Old Faithful classic, and you guys know I always reach for this. But yeah. Now you guys know when it comes to lip colors, I'm pretty random when it comes to my lip colors. I did take a few out that I have been wearing so far. Today actually I'm wearing the Cork lip liner from MAC, and I went ahead and paired that with the shade Whirl. Absolutely love Whirl. If you guys want to see live swatches of the MAC, what was these, the MAC, I can't remember exactly the name of the collection that this came out with, but I did do swatches when it came out of the ones that I got. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys know I'm gonna link that for you guys. I've been wearing K from ColourPop nonstop. You guys know this is the Karuchi trend and ColourPop collaboration that they came out with. I did a video featuring lip swatches of all three of the shades, and I love using the quad that they came out with, so I'll definitely link that video for you guys. You're gonna see this retro matte liquid lip color in the shade Recollection. I did a look over the weekend featuring my 35P palette, and this was the lip color that I went, and this is the lip color that I wore with that. Absolutely beautiful color. In another video you'll see that I recorded last week, I went ahead and I wore the Lime Crime liquid lipstick. I guess that's what they're called. Velveteen. They're called Velveteens. So I went ahead and wore the I can't talk. So I went ahead and I wore the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Pink Velvet. You guys are going to see me rocking that in another recent video. And I did not wear Toulet yet, but I was actually going to wear Toulet this morning, but then I caught a hold of Whirl, so I figured let me rock that instead. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up, and I hope to catch you beauties on the next one. Bye y'all.